Hello, folks. Welcome to my channel, Reviews Paradigm. Today, I want to delve into the differences between the Philippines and China, in case you are curious about which one to settle down for retirement. Although they have both undergone significant historical change, the Philippines and China are two very different countries with rich histories, cultures, and socio political structures. Their differences can be seen in terms of geography, historical backgrounds, cultural values, economic systems, political frameworks, languages, and religious beliefs. Comprehending these distinctions offers significant perspectives on how every nation handles international relations, influences regional dynamics, and molds its own national identity. Number one, geography. Southeast Asia archipelago of more than 7,000 islands, known for its beautiful beaches, rich biodiversity, and tropical climate, is called the Philippines. Its land area is roughly 300,000 square kilometers in total. On the other hand, China is a much larger nation, East Asia, than the Philippines, with a total area of about 9,562,910 square kilometers. China has a wide variety of climates and topography, with tropical areas in the south and deserts in the north. Number two, historical background. The Philippines' name derives from King Philip II of Spain, who ruled over the country for more than 300 years, greatly influencing its people's customs and religious beliefs. Around 3000 BC, the first residents changed from hunter gatherer societies to farming communities, and as early as the 10th century, they began trading with nearby regions. Notably, Spanish colonization began in the Philippines in 1521 with Ferdinand Magellan's landing. In contrast, China is one of the oldest continuous civilizations in the world, with over 3,500 years of recorded history. As the first dynasty with historical records, the Shang Dynasty, 1600 to 1046 BC, established the groundwork for a string of dynastics that influenced China's political and cultural environment. Important occasions include China's unification under the Qing Dynasty, 221 to 206 BC, and its golden age of advancements in many fields during the Tang Dynasty, 618 to 907. Number three, beliefs and cultural values. China and the Philippines have very different cultures. Filipinos are renowned for their optimism, joy, and openness to outside influences, all of which are reflections of their generous hospitality to guests. With more than 80% of the population identifying as Catholic, the Philippines is primarily a Roman Catholic nation. Filipino customs, holidays, and family values are all greatly influenced by this religious heritage. Chinese culture, on the other hand, places more value on family honor and financial success and is typically more reserved and introverted. Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism all have a big influence on how Chinese people behave morally and ethically. Though the government of China recognizes a wide range of religions, the country's governance is frequently viewed as authoritarian, restricting religious expression in order to uphold the ideals of the Chinese Communist Party, or CCP. CCP. Number four, economic systems. There are also notable differences between the Chinese and Philippine economy. The Philippines has a hybrid economy that combines centralized government regulation with various levels of individual freedom. The country's economy, which is moving away from its agricultural foundation and toward a more manufacturing and service oriented one, is seen as having recently industrialized. The top industries are manufacturing, services, and agriculture, with business process outsourcing, BPO, making a major contribution. China, on the other hand, has a developing mixed socialist market economy that uses its 5 year economic plans to combine industrial policies and strategic planning. With a growing middle class and fast growth driven by exports, China is recognized as the country with the largest manufacturing economy in the world. China's role in global trade is increased as a result of the government's encouragement of foreign investment and strong control over important industries. Number five, political structures. The historical backgrounds and cultural norms of the two nations are reflected in their respective political systems. A democratic republic governs the Philippines with an elected president acting as both the head of state and the head of government. Despite persistent issues like political dynasties and corruption, the nation has a history of democratic governance which facilitates citizen participation and more transparent political discourse. China, in sharp contrast, is run by the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, within a communist state framework. The CCP strictly controls political appointments and activities, even though the National People's Congress is the biggest body or highest body of state authority. It has been said that the Chinese political system is authoritarian and has little room for civil liberties and political plurality. Number six, languages. The linguistic distinctions between the two countries are also emphasized. More than 120 languages are spoken in the Philippines, where English and Filipino is standardized form of Tagalog are the official tongues. The government, media, and the educational systems heavily utilize Filipino, and the nation's rich linguistic diversity is enriched by the use of various regional languages. Conversely, Mandarin, which is a member of the wider Chinese language family and has many dialects, is the official language of China. China's language system is based on the historical evolution of a vast writing system that has been developed for more than 6,000 years. For both internal and international communication, Mandarin is a universal language, regardless of regional dialects and minority language. Number seven, religious practices. With about 86% of the population identifying as Christians, mostly Catholic, the Philippines is mentioned as the only Christian country in Asia in terms of religious practices. The country's social and political climate is shaped by deeply held Catholic beliefs, which are expressed in a variety of cultural practices like festivals, religious processions, and community get-togethers. However, the religious landscape of China is a multifaceted tapestry of beliefs that includes Confucianism, Buddhism, Taoism, Islam, and Christianity. The Chinese government actively controls religious activities, encouraging state sanctioned faiths, and frequently suppressing others it sees as posing a threat to the CCP's authority. China offers a more sophisticated approach to religious expression than the Philippines, with sizable population of active Buddhists, Muslims, and Christians. Number eight, global relations and challenges. Both nations must navigate particular difficulties as they play different roles in the international community. The Philippines' development trajectory is impacted by problems like poverty, natural disasters, and political instability. But because of its advantageous location in the South China Sea, it can work cooperatively with its neighbors and is now a major player in regional dynamics. Amidst intricate global reactions, China must contend with issues like aging populations, internal discontent, and environmental concerns. China's ascent to prominence in the world economy has changed its diplomatic ties and frequently put it at odds with Western countries over trade policies, human rights issues, and territorial disputes. In summary, China and the Philippines are very different in terms of population, size, political systems, economic structures, and roles in the world economy. The Philippines is a smaller, democratic archipelago with a rich fusion of indigenous and Western influences, whereas China is a vast, ancient, highly centralized nation with a global economic and political presence. Both nations, in spite of their differences, have rich histories, varied populations, and important roles in both regional and international affairs. All right, folks, that is all for today, folks. Thank you for watching as always. Have a nice day.